Alright, so find a comfortable seat on your mat that can be cross-legged, legs extended, whatever feels good for you. Once you're ready, hands can just rest effortlessly on the legs and gently close your eyes. We'll take the next couple of moments to allow ourselves to arrive in our practice. Gently begin to feel into the ground beneath your body. So noticing any area of the body that's in contact with the ground beneath you. And noticing if you can simply let your weight fall a little bit more towards the support of the ground. Allow your legs and your hips and sits bones to rest heavily. Finding an almost sinking nature with the lower half of your body. And from that, begin to lift the back body, so stack every vertebra one on top of another until you're sitting up nice and tall. Continue that length through the neck, through the top of the head, lifting the head up towards the ceiling. With a strong back body, can you begin to relax the front of your body? So soften the face, relax the shoulders and the chest, even soften the belly. And as we're here, begin to connect with the feeling of your breath. Can you feel the inhales and exhales within your body? As we create this tall, strong stance within, we create room for the breath. So where do you feel your breath in your body today? Maybe you notice different areas throughout the cycle of the inhales and exhales. Simply let yourself feel. And before we begin to flow today, I'd like to invite you to bring into your awareness a happy memory. So this can be a person, a place, a thing you've done, an activity that you like to do, anything that evokes happiness within you. Notice what comes up for you. Whatever comes up for you, try to be as though you are there with it right now. So again, whatever it is, imagine as though you're doing the activity, that you're with the person, that you're in the place, whatever it is. Try to bring it in through your senses, noticing what you see, what you hear in this space. Maybe what you smell, taste, or touch. And even realizing the emotional charge with this event, with this memory. Notice how putting yourself in this happy place makes your body feel. If it brings a smile to your face, it's okay to let it. And eventually just take a couple big breaths, breathing into that space, into that energy. Let's make an intention to flow into this happy space today. Take a couple more big breaths, just allowing the energy to tingle throughout your body. And once you feel grounded, centered, and ready, gently peel your eyes open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. Take a couple big breaths with the eyes open, just feeling the inhales and exhales, allowing yourself to remain connected within as the eyes are now open. Whenever your next inhale arises, gently sweep your hands up overhead, bring the palms to touch. On the exhale, right hand lowers down to the mat. Inhale here. On your next exhale, begin to tilt over, reaching your left hand toward the right hand side. Pause here. Notice that we're not dumping all our energy into that bottom hand. We're staying light and lifted, so much so that you could wiggle your fingertips on the ground, really keeping the strength within the core here. Low belly sucks in as you push that left hip down to the ground. Should feel a nice stretch somewhere along the left side body. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Let's say 2 more big breaths. Breathe into what you feel. Relax your jaw. 1 more big breath. Perfect. Inhale, both hands sweep up, palms touch. Exhale, left hand comes down. Big inhale here. On your next exhale, peel it on over to the left hand side now. Pause for a couple of breaths. Again, remember to keep that bottom hand light. Low belly pulls in and really try to press that right hip down towards the mat. Peel on over to the side, trying to create more space between the bottom of your right rib cage and the top of your right hip. So we're expanding that area. 2 more big breaths here. Awesome. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Inhale, both hands sweep up, palms touch. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. On your next inhale, straighten your legs out in front of you. If you need to kind of bob the knees a bit, feel free to do so. Exhale once you get there. Inhale, press your knees down, toes pull back towards you, sit up super tall. Exhale, begin to walk the hands down alongside the legs, coming into a forward fold. On your next inhale, can you pull the heart forward, really lengthen the back body? If this feels like enough, you're going to stay right here. If you want to go a little further on your exhale, maybe you lower the elbows towards the ground. Maybe the rib cage comes towards the thighs. Notice if you're really reaching though and rounding the upper back, try to avoid that by really pulling the heart forward. Breathe deeply. Notice what you feel here. Continue to press the knees down and pull the toes back towards you. The legs should be working here. Relax your jaw and shoulders as much as possible. On your inhales, can you feel the back body expand? On your exhales, maybe you sink a little deeper. Maybe you add a little brief smile to your face, keeping yourself in your happy place, happy memory. Let yourself feel light, joyful, and just have fun with practice today. 1 more big breath. On your next inhale, slowly come back up to seated. Exhale, swing your legs behind you. Make your way to tabletop position, hands and knees. Inhale, once you get there, big toes touch, knees spread wide. And on your exhale, sink your hips on back to the heels and lower the body down, child's pose. Head can rest on the ground or hang in space. Let's just kind of rest easy here for a couple moments. If you like to sway the hips side to side, feel free to do so. If you even want to rock the head side to side, massaging the forehead or third eye, feel free to do whatever feels good for you here. Keep the shoulders relaxed down the back body. Lots of space around the ears, around the neck. Again, can you stay connected with the feeling of the breath? So feel the breath expand the back body on the inhales. On the exhales, let yourself melt towards the ground. Couple more big breaths here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, make your way up, tabletop position, hands and knees. On the exhale, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, press it on back, downward facing dog, so hips up to the sky. Take some time here, pedal out the feet, shift the weight forward and back or side to side, whatever movement feels good for you here to begin to wake up the backs of your legs, and also get yourself used to having the head below the hips. So breathe deeply all the way to the belly button, relax the jaw, breathe through the backs of the legs. Couple more big breaths. Find whatever movement feels good right now. When your next inhale arises, begin to walk the feet all the way up to the hands. If you need to bend the knees to get there, feel free to do so. When you get to the top of your mat, rise up halfway and pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, bend the knees and slowly ripple up, stacking one vertebra at a time until you come all the way up to standing. On the exhale, roll the shoulders down the back body. Beautiful. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen the back body. Exhale, plant your hands, step both your feet back behind you, plank pose. Lower your knees, then lower your chest and chin. Booty will be up towards the sky. Inhale, pull the heart through, and then lift up, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, press it on back, down dog. We'll be here for about 5 big breaths. Your choice if you want to continue to add movement here, if you want a stagnant downward facing dog. If you are holding down dog, really press through the hands. Heels drive down to the mat. It's okay if they don't touch. Low belly pulls in. Forearms lift up away from the ground. Breathe deeply here. Couple more big breaths. If you're finding that a lot of the weight is forward towards the wrists, give yourself a gentle bend to the knees, and that'll help you lengthen the back body and really be able to push your weight towards the back of the mat. One more big breath. On your next inhale, either step or walk the feet up between the hands. Rise up halfway once you get to the top. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, flat back. Now hands sweep out and around as you rise all the way up to standing, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center, then down by the sides. Great job. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. This time on your exhale, step only your left foot back behind you. Your choice if you want to keep the knee lifted up off the ground or set it down. Totally up to you. Left hand goes where that left foot was. Exhale. Inhale, right hand sweeps all the way up to the ceiling. Pause here for a couple big breaths. Breathe deeply. Take a look at your right knee. Make sure it's directly stacked over that right ankle. The knee's just gently pressing out toward the right hand side. Really reach up through those top fingertips, trying to make the bottom hand light. And back knee lifts up towards the ceiling if it's lifted up off the ground. One more big breath. Shoulders shrug onto the back body. On your exhale, right hand comes down. Frame that right foot. Right foot steps back behind you, plank pose. Your choice if the knees stay lifted or you set them down, but lower yourself down towards the mat. Inhale, low cobra. Maybe it's up dog, straightening the arms. Exhale, press it on back, down dog. Pause here, a couple big breaths. Breathe deeply, really work this downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is an active posture rather than passive. So really light up the body by pressing the hands into the ground. Spiral out the upper arms, inner upper arms out away from the ears. Low belly pulls in. Knees press towards the back wall. One more big breath. On your next inhale, step only your left foot now between your hands. So left foot steps up. Right hand is where the right foot would be. Back knee, your choice again if it's lifted or not. Left hand lifts all the way up to the ceiling. Pause for a couple big breaths. Really work this posture. Again, left knee stacks over the left ankle, slightly presses out toward the left hand side. Back knee really lifts up away from the ground. Couple more big breaths. Try to shrug your shoulders onto the back body. Low belly pulls it in and up. One more big breath, really lift through that top hand. On your exhale, left hand comes down to frame that front foot. Inhale, step up to the front of your mat. So both feet at the front of your mat. Now rise up halfway. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale all the way up to standing. Hands sweep out and around as you rise. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands through heart center, then down by the sides. Awesome job. Inhale, big sweep out and around one more time. Palms touch. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, left foot only steps back. Your choice, low lunge or high lunge, just like before, but this time on your inhale, we're gonna lift up. So if you want, you could totally lower that back knee All up to you. Pause once you get to the high lunge. Really sink into that front knee. Back knee lifts up away from the ground. Low belly pulls in. Crown of the head lifts up. Take a big breath in. We're going to add movement. On your exhale, dive forward. As you do so, hands come backwards. So ribs towards the thigh. Hands reach back. Inhale, hands come up as you lift. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, reach forward. Hands come back. Inhale, lift it on up. 1 more. Exhale, forward, hands come back. Inhale, lift it on up. Pause, 2 big breaths in your high lunge. 1 more breath. Awesome. Exhale, hands come down, frame the front foot, step it on back. Lower yourself down towards the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog, hips up and back. Curl over the toes. Pause for 5 big breaths. Come back to your breath here. Notice where you're at. Breathe deeply. Spread the shoulders along the back body by rolling the inner upper arms out away from the ears. Low belly pulls in. Couple more big breaths. Heels really drive down towards the mat. 2 more breaths. Relax the jaw. Look towards the knees or the thighs. Alrighty, same little flow on the other side. So on your next inhale, left foot only steps up between your hands. You choose high or low lunge. Find your balance and rise on up. Hands reach up towards the ceiling. Pause here, sink down into that front knee. Back knee lifts up away from the ground. Low belly pulls in as up and up as the crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. Shoulders relax down the back body. Big inhale. Let's flow. Exhale, heart comes forward, hands go back. Inhale, reach it on up. 2 more times. Exhale, forward, hands go back. Inhale, sweep it on up. Last time. Exhale, forward and back. Inhale, come on up. Pause, 2 big breaths in your high lunge. Can you sink any deeper into that front knee? 1 more big breath. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step on up to the front of your mat on your inhale and rise up halfway. Exhale, fold to the feet. Inhale, sweep the hands out and around. As you rise, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's catch our breath for a moment. Close the eyes if that feels good for you. Take some big breaths. Notice if there's heat building in the body, if the heart rate is increasing. Just allow yourself to feel. Even out the breath, so make sure that inhales equal the length of the exhales. So if you have a panting-like nature to the breath, try to equalize the breath. Breathe deeply. And take a moment to reconnect with that happy energy we established at the beginning of class. So maybe you bring back into your awareness whatever evoked happiness within you. Bring it through your senses. You have the ability to control your emotional state. It's where the mind goes, allows us to feel certain things. So when we bring happy thoughts, when we allow ourselves to adjust our lens to seeing happiness, that's what we feel. So build that little happy bubble around you. Let yourself feel the happiness. Sometimes all it takes is one good memory to bring us back home. Take a couple big breaths. Breathe deeply. When you're ready, gently peel the eyes open. Allow the hands to come back to the sides. Take a look down. Let's make sure our feet are hips distance and all 10 toes are pointing towards the front of the mat. Moving to chair pose next. So on your next inhale, sink the booty back. Hands sweep up towards the sky. Low belly pulls in. Take a look down. If you cannot see your toes, that means your knees are forward of the toes. So try to really sink your booty back so much so that the knees stay stacked over the ankles and you can see all 10 of your toes. Low belly pulls in. Tailbone points to the back edge of your mat. Let's take a big inhale here. Flowing again, just like we did in that high lunge. On your exhale, lower the chest towards the thighs. Hands sweep back. Inhale, lift it on up. 2 more just like that. Exhale, sweep it on back. Inhale, up. 1 more. Exhale, sweep it on back. Inhale, lift it up. Pause here. Let's hold chair for 2 big breaths. Sink into the hips. 1 more big breath. All right, on your next exhale, palms touch to prayer hands. Bring the prayer so the thumbs to the center of the chest. We're going to move to Revolve Chair now. So inhale, pull the crown of the head forward. On your exhale, turn so the left elbow is going to come towards the right knee. So pause here. Maybe you kind of inch the feet towards each other, big toes touch, heels spread wide. Maybe you can hook that right or the left elbow to the outside of that right knee. So see what works for your body. It's okay if the elbow doesn't make it all the way over there. Your choice. You can look down towards the mat. You can look over towards the side wall. Really press your palms in towards each other, pivot through the spine, keep pulling the crown of the head towards the front of the room, and maybe you glance at your knees. Make sure that left knee is not coming forward and the knees are staying in the same line. 1 more big breath. All right, adding a slight challenge here. Look down towards the ground in front of your right foot. Maybe you shift the weight over toward the right-hand side. We're going to try to make our way to a revolved high lunge here. So your choice. Maybe you drag that left foot back. Maybe you take 1 big step, make your way to high lunge, keeping the twisted nature in the torso and arms. Couple of big breaths here. If you want to take it 1 step further, we're going to fly our arms out in opposite directions. So left hand maybe comes down towards the mat, right hand comes up. 2 big breaths here. Lift that back knee up away from the ground. 1 more big breath. Using the strength of your core on your next inhale, both hands sweep up, high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot steps back behind you, lower yourself down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press it on back down dog. Whew, I got 1 more little challenge for you within this flow. We're gonna make our way to wild thing. So if this is new for you, you might wanna watch and then try on your own. If you've done this before, then feel free to just flow along with me. So on your next inhale, lift your right foot up towards the ceiling. Toes point up. Pause here, exhale. Okay, from here, on your next exhale, bend your right knee. You're gonna bring the right foot to the outside of the left hip when you bend your knee. So the space to the left of your left hip, that's where your right foot's gonna go. From here, we're gonna pivot and kind of controllably allow ourselves to drop on over. So listen as we go. Again, you can watch if you'd like to. So we're gonna begin to drop our right foot toward the left-hand side. As we do that left foot, the toes are gonna point toward the right-hand side, and then we're gonna lift our right hand up towards the ceiling. You might land on your right toes, or the right heel might come down, totally up to you. As we're here, the hips really lift up towards the sky. Pause for a couple big breaths. Let's take 2 more big breaths. 1 more. All right, on your next exhale, right hand comes down to the mat first, and then you'll pivot. Right foot will come up to the ceiling, and then on an exhale, set it on down. So if you were watching, feel free to give it a try. We're gonna pause in downward facing dog for 5 big breaths. So you wanna try to flow through wild thing, feel free to do so. Breathe deeply. 2 more big breaths. Great job. 1 more breath. Alrighty, on your next inhale, either step or hop the feet up between the hands. Rise up halfway once you get to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold on down to your feet. Inhale, chair pose 1 more time. Bend the knees, sweep the hands up. Pause here. Exhale, palms touch. Stand on up, hands come to heart center, down by the sides. Woo! Great job, everybody. We're doing that on the other side. Alrighty, take a big breath, prepare yourself, maybe put a smile on your face even though you know what's coming. On your next inhale, chair pose. Hands sweep up, sink the booty on back, bend the knees. Pause here, take a breath or 2. Low belly pulls in. All right, we're gonna start with our sweeps in chair pose. So big inhale. Exhale, hands sweep down and back. Inhale, lift it on up. 2 more, you got it. Exhale, sweep down and back. Inhale, up, keep pulling that low belly in. Last time, exhale, sweep down and back. Inhale, reach it on up. Pause, chair pose, 2 big breaths. Really sink those hips back. Make sure you can see all 10 toes. Tailbone points to the back edge of your mat. 1 big breath. All right, exhale, palms touch, thumbs in towards the heart center. Moving to the twisted version of this. So right elbow to the outside of the left knee or thigh. Find what works in your body. Really sink the hips back. Bend those knees. You can look down towards your mat, out towards the side. Really try to pull the crown of your head forward and keep pulling that right hip back, keeping the hips square towards the front of the mat. 2 more big breaths. You got it. 1 more. If you're looking towards the side, look down to the space in front of your left foot. We're going to try that transition to the revolved high lunge. So shift the weight over toward the left-hand side. Maybe you just slide the foot. Maybe you take 1 big step to your high lunge. Find what works in your body. And again, pause, couple big breaths here. Really lift through that back knee. You can look towards the side wall, up towards the ceiling behind you. Maybe you fly the hands out in opposite directions. Right hand comes down to the mat, left hand lifts. 2 more big breaths wherever you're at. 1 more breath, you got it. All right, using the strength of your core on your next inhale, lift all the way up. High lunge, hands reach up. Big breath here. On your exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Front foot steps back behind you, lower yourself towards the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a big breath here. We're gonna move through wild thing on this side now. So again, your choice if you want to watch and then try or try along with me. On your next inhale, left foot lifts up off the ground, toes point towards the back of the room. Exhale, bend your knees so the left foot comes to the outside of your right hip. Now we're pivoting around the right hand and the left foot. So begin to slowly open that left hip and drop the left foot toward the right side of your right leg. As you do so, that right foot's gonna spin so the right toes point to the left side. Left hand lifts up towards the ceiling or up overhead. Really lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Couple big breaths here. Press through the bottom hand. 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath. On your exhale, left hand comes towards the ground first. Pivot your body, left foot lifts up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left foot towards the mat. Come back to your down dog. Pause for a couple big breaths. Notice how you're feeling. Again, if you watched, feel free to attempt. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself a big smile. Meant to just have fun and explore our body. No need to try to get anywhere or achieve anything here. 2 more big breaths. 1 more. All right, on your next inhale, either jump or step the feet up between the hands. Rise up halfway once you get there. Exhale, fold down. Last chair pose of class. On your next inhale, bend the knees. Sweep those hands up. Big inhale. Exhale, come on up to stand. Palms touch, hands come by the sides. All right, let's make it down to a child's pose. Inhale, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen the back body. Exhale, step your feet back, plank pose. Lower yourself down towards the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, drop the knees down. Big toes touch, knees spread wide, sink it on back. Child's pose. Yay! Take a couple big breaths here. You did it. Awesome job. Yeah, give yourself a big old smile. Really make yourself actually put a smile on your face, even if that sounds funny. When we move our bodies different ways, when we consciously relax certain parts of the body, when we put a smile on our face, it sends a signal to our mind. It allows us to relax when we begin to consciously relax our body. It allows us to find happiness when we do put a smile on our face. So breathe into a happy, fun energy. Soften the body, let yourself come back to the breath. Take some big breaths here. Check in, notice how you're feeling. Let everything else go. Let yourself just be in your body here and now. One more really big breath. Maybe you even exhale audibly out the mouth. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come back up, tabletop position, hands and knees. Lower yourself down to your belly on your exhale. So just make your way all the way down. Rest on your belly. Rest both your hands on top of another. Make a little pillow and just allow the forehead to come down to the hands. Couple more big breaths, just allowing the heart rate to come down a bit. On your inhales, can you feel your belly press out towards the ground beneath you? On your exhales, can you feel your body soften towards the mat? Take a couple moments, feel the breath, feel the feedback between the ground beneath your body and your body pressing out and in towards it. On your next inhale, gently lift your head up off your hands and then bring the elbows underneath your shoulders, palms flat on the ground. We're going to work to half bow pose here. So left hand on your next inhale, bring it in about 45 degrees so the hand is directly in front of your face. Exhale. We're going to start with a couple of variations. You pause wherever you'd like to. On your next inhale, bend your right knee, foot flexes. If this feels like enough, you're going to stay right here. You're totally fine. If you want to go a little bit further, on your next inhale, so exhale, big inhale, maybe you begin to reach back, so right hand reaching towards a bind around that foot. Now the bind may or may not happen, and that's okay. Maybe you're just reaching and working on that. If you want, maybe you do grab a hold of that right ankle, and on an inhale, you really kick the foot away from you. Now notice here, our goal is to keep the shoulders square or parallel with the mat in front of us rather than opening up and peeling open to the side. So we're really pressing the hips down, low belly pulls in and up, and we're kicking that right foot away from us. Couple more big breaths here. Whichever variation you're in, it is totally fine. On your next exhale, release whatever you're in, lower the foot to the ground, right arm comes back to the mat. All right, parallel the hands off, exhale. Inhale, right hand comes in front of the face, and find your other variation on the left-hand side. So bend that left foot. Maybe you stay there. If you want to go a little further, maybe you work towards the bind. Maybe you grab a hold of the right or left ankle. Anything goes. So find what works in your body today where you can breathe. Keep kicking that left foot back. Press the hips down into the mat. Couple more big breaths here. Relax your jaw, soften the shoulders. One more big breath, you got it. Exhale, release on out, stack your palms, and allow your forehead to rest again down towards the mat. Maybe you like to wiggle the hips side to side, feel free to do so. Maybe you even lift the feet and allow the feet to fall side to side. Whatever feels like a nice little release to your low back, go there. Breathe to the back body, all the way to the low back. Notice what you're feeling. If your legs are swaying side to side, eventually lower them down towards the mat. Take a big breath or two and let yourself settle in the body. On your next inhale, gently lift the head up off the hands. We're going to flip right over onto our back body. So pivot over the right hand side of your body. Just kind of roll, roll, roll until you're laying down on your back. All right. Once you get to the back body, extend the legs out. Let yourself rest for a breath or two. On your next inhale, hug only your right knee in towards you. Exhale once you get there. And we're going to pause here for a couple breaths, just resting and melting into this stretch. So hands are just effortlessly resting on that right knee. We're not pulling or tugging. We're just letting the hands rest there. Breathe deeply. Notice what you feel here. Relax the jaw and the shoulders. Maybe you close the eyes at this point. One more big breath. Awesome. On your exhale, right knee goes out toward the right hand side, and the right foot's going to come to the inside of your left thigh. So I like to call this fallen tree pose. So we're opening the hip on that right hand side. Hands can come to the belly. They can rest on the inner thighs. They can come down to the ground, whatever feels good for you. Keep pressing that left hip towards the ground though. So by pressing the left knee down, your left hip should gently anchor down as well. This is a subtle stretch, so breathe into what you feel here. Let's take 2 more big breaths. One more. Great job. Inhale, bring your knee back to center, and then exhale, straighten your right leg out to the ground. Same thing other side, so inhale, left knee hugs in, and again, just gently caress the knee, the shin with your hands. Let the hands just be like a weight on the knee, gently pulling it slightly towards the body. Allow the arms to soften, the shoulders to relax. Breathe into the left leg. Couple more big breaths. Keep your mind on feeling the breath in the body or simply feeling the stretch that you're in. On your next exhale, bring the knee out toward the left-hand side. Left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh, and just allowing that hip to open up. Again, hands can place anywhere that feels comfortable for you, and we'll allow ourselves to rest here for a couple big breaths. Breathe all the way to your hips. Maybe you visualize or imagine the breath coming in and traveling to where you feel the stretch in the body. Inhales, bring in space. Exhales, release anything that no longer serves you. Take a couple more big breaths here, allowing the body to wind down. Beautiful job. On your next inhale, bring your knee in towards center. Exhale, straighten the leg out towards the ground. Full body stretch. On your inhale, reach the hands up overhead. Toes pull towards the back edge of your mat. Stretch your body long. Exhale, relax. Allow the hands to come by your sides. Palms face up. If you want to take any other stretches or postures before Shavasana, feel free to do so. If you're ready for Shavasana, then just stay exactly where you're at. If you've made your way towards your Shavasana posture, gently draw the eyes closed. And on an inhale, puff up the chest and inch the shoulders down the back body. Exhale, set the back body back down. So that'll create some space around the ears and around the neck. Maybe you just kind of rock the hips side to side. Just let yourself relax and melt down towards the ground. Begin to invite in a gentle, soft, and easy state to your mind, to your body, to the space all around and within you. Start to relax your body even further, beginning by softening the crown of your head. Relax your forehead, soften the eyebrows. Relax the eyes and the temples. Allow the cheeks to relax as the jaw softens. Relax the lips, the teeth, and gently float the tongue down away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your ears and the back of your head, relaxing your scalp. Relax the back of your neck, the sides and the front. And gently allow the throat to open. Melt the shoulders down the back body as you relax the upper arms, the elbows. Soften the lower arms and the wrists. And relax your hands, allowing every finger to get a little bit softer. Soften the chest, the rib cage and the belly. And melt your back body down towards the ground beneath you. Soften the hips, the glutes, and the pelvic area as you relax the upper legs and the knees. Soften the lower legs and the ankles. Relax your feet, allowing every toe to get a little bit lighter. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body. And allow your body to relax completely, letting it sink down towards the support of the ground beneath you. Allow this inner state of peace and ease to translate to your mind, softening the mind as though it's a muscle itself, letting it melt and fade away. As you rest here, invite in that happy memory once again. Truly bring it into your consciousness. Imagine as though you are there with it, whatever it is right now. Notice what you see, what you hear, how it smells. If you can taste anything, or even what it feels like. Bring it in through all your senses. And again, even if it brings a smile to your face, let it. Allow yourself to rest and sink into this happy emotional state. Take a moment to just be here. Gently begin to invite the awareness back into your body. As you do so, take a moment to pause and to thank your happy memory for showing up for you here today. Maybe you deepen your breath or introduce small wiggles, the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. Take your time. Only when you feel ready, gently roll over to either side and pause to rest in a fetal position. And again, once you feel ready, gently press yourself all the way up to seated. Take your time, move slowly. We'll eventually make our way to a nice seated posture with the eyes drawn closed and heart or hands touching at heart center. Take a couple moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Bring your awareness to your mind, your head space. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind? Gently bring your awareness towards the body. Notice how it feels. What word describes your body? And eventually tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right now? And give yourself a nice big smile. Really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time to cultivating a beautiful energy within and all around you. And thank you so very much for sharing your practice, your energy with me and everyone else here who showed up today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.